that I entered last night, but I've been waiting to break out for a daily for a while. Yeah, and it's a very good point. Again, I spoke to a few traders this morning on the platform who were just like, they wanted someone to talk to because they made some good money this morning, and they were excited about it. And it was cool because it was one of those light bulb moments. Like, you guys know my light bulb moment. It was the New Zealand dollar trade that made like 600 pips. It was amazing. And that was the first time I ever followed my rules and really stuck to a trade while I was in it. Well, a few of our traders had light bulb moments this morning where it's like they've been waiting for these setups. We've been looking at it for weeks, man. And they've been waiting and being patient and not getting in. And some of them were in. They were holding their position. And you know, I'm getting emails like, hey, how long is too long before it, you know, how fast should these breakouts happen? I'm like, I don't know. The market does whatever it wants whenever it wants to. So, you know, there's no time-based deal to it. You just got to hold on to it. Like, okay, because I was in this trade and it hasn't been doing anything for like a week. I'm like, well, let's stick with it. Weeks, you're on a daily chart. Week's not a big deal. And then it finally paid off this morning, and they kind of, it's that kind of smack in the face, a positive smack in the face, like, wow, patience does pay. Being disciplined does pay off. Because they think back like, man, I wanted to cancel and exit this trade like 4 times, and I'm so glad I didn't. Because we've all been there where we've been in a trade and it hasn't done what we thought it would do right away, right? And we were fearful. And then what do we do when we were fearful? What do we always do when we're fearful? Right? We second guess and then we get scared and we exit, right? I think it was Mark Douglas said this. He said, what most traders don't realize is that, I think he said, trading with fear, dealing with fear is a skill in its own. And, you know, a skill that has to be cultivated, and it's the biggest difference between like successful traders and struggling traders. I'm sure he said it much better than that. But he essentially said dealing with fear is a skill. How do you deal with fear? And that is a skill. You guys know I coach track and field, right? Any of you guys ever run track? So track is this interesting sport, right? Track, what events did you do? 100, 4x1? Anybody else? Track or distance, anything like that? So, it says, ran away from the cops a few times. Not sure it counts. Yeah, it counts. I got fast running from dogs. Mark Douglas's book, Trading His Own, taught me why I was afraid of dogs my whole life, which is great. But track is an interesting sport, right? And our sport is a little bit different than everyone else's. And I played all the sports, so I understand it. But track is different because it is literally a competition between how much pain you can deal with, right? Your body has something called an internal governor, right? Same thing as if you're like a NASCAR fan, they have governors on the car to stop them from going a certain speed, right? There's this internal governor that our body has when it comes to pain. And it basically says, your brain says, hey, when my body reaches a certain pain threshold, there's a message sent to my brain, and my brain shoots a chemical to my body that says, shut it down, stop. And that's how it stops you from doing harm to yourself, right? Your body and your brain is equipped to stop yourself from doing harm to yourself. That's what it is, right? So when you run and you put yourself in this pain, and it's different for different people, but if you're running full speed, it's basically after about 25 seconds, your body says, stop, you're being dumb, you're gonna kill yourself. Shut it down. And it sends acid to your body, right? Which is meant to shut your body down. As a track and field runner, basically the game isn't, you gotta train, you gotta get fast, all that fun stuff. But the game is how much pain can you deal with? I teach my 400 meter runners this, right? We don't, some people like to pace it. Oh, should I go out under control? Hell no. Go out fast. Go out fast, and then we teach them to hold on. And we teach them that from a mental and a physical perspective, right? Staying efficient, running with good form. But also the mental aspect of being able to get to maybe the 250 meter mark and be like, oh man, right? The monkey, it's called the monkey hopping on your back, right? The gorilla jumping out and getting you. We teach them to deal with, how do I manage this pain? I've reached a level where my body is telling me to shut down, and you have to tell your body no. And the cool thing is, you have control over your body. You have the final say, right? You can will your body to do stuff. I'm sure you guys have heard all the stories about, when adrenaline gets in your body and like mothers picking up cars to save babies, right? That's real. I hope you know. You do understand that's real. You guys ever heard those stories? Baby's trapped under a car and a mother lifts it up to save the baby, right? She tries that any other day of the week 1,000 times. You think she's lifting that car? Heck no. No. But at that moment, she's trying to do something. Her body's like, fool, what are you doing? And because of that urgency of her kid being in danger, she's telling her body, look, I don't care what you say, I'm doing this. And boom, she finds that superpower to lift it. Running's the same way. You're telling your brain to, hey, shut up. We tell our runners all the time. They actually write it on their legs. It says, shut up, legs. Shut up, legs. Right? We tell the brain to shut up. We deal with it. And because of that, we've had a lot of success. It's one of the main reasons we have a reputation in our conference for performing at the highest level, because we don't give in to mental or physical pain. I train them tough. Trading's the same way. Trading is all about dealing with fear, right? For the longest time, we always talk about trading, emotions and stuff like that. And for the longest time, I used to be under this impression that, hey, I'm an emotionalist trader. I don't trade with emotions. And everyone's like, Akil, you're so robotic. Jason Greystone, you're so robotic. And then we got to the point where it's like, well, no, I do have emotions. I get scared in trades. I get afraid to push the buy or sell button. Right? All of that happens, right? I want to exit the trade when it's sitting. Man, earlier this year, I had a bunch of them that came like 1 or 2 pips before my profit target and just hung there. And I want to take trades out. I want to move stops back because I still think I'm right, even though when the market says I'm wrong. But the difference between a myself and let's say a struggling trader is they can't manage those emotions. They can't manage that fear. They give into it. And that ultimately ends up in sabotage. And sabotage ultimately ends up in you either not achieving the profits you're supposed to achieve or giving back profits that you already took. Where the person that manages that fear, right? By the way, dollar yen, nice higher high, higher close here on the range bar chart. Going back to it again, nice little candle wicks here. Higher high, higher close. Another entry technique for that long we talked about. But what I do is I manage my fear. I just don't give into it. I say, man, I don't want to take that position. Shut up, brain. You're supposed to take it. Let's take it. So yeah, it's all fear management. I agree 100% with Mark Douglas. It is fear management. We are. There's another quote I put out yesterday. I forgot who said it. We are basically, it's a battle between our minds. That's what trading is. It's not a battle against the market, a battle against the other traders out there. It's a battle against you and that person in your head that tells you evil things to do. The better you can manage yourself, the better you can manage your trades. And if you can manage your trades correctly, then all it comes down to is, hey, are you trading something that has a positive expectancy? Are you executing something that has proven to make profits? And if you've done the work correctly, if you've gone through the process correctly, that should be a yes. It's not hard. You guys have backtested. It's not really hard to find a winning strategy. Again, there are differences between strategies that win at a small rate and strategies that win at a high rate. But you can find something that wins. The hard part is consistently executing it. That's the tough part.